Better? Hey everybody, it's me, Miss Cracker. Blibbity blobbity bloop. Deep blop deep bloop deep blibbity blop. Deep beepity blobbity bloop. Okay. And it's time for Review with a Jew, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 4 Episode 2. And this is going to be the fastest Review with a Jew we have ever done. We have 30 minutes, goddammit, let's get to it! To begin with, who's gone?
Jasmine.
Jasmine Masters is gone. And Trinity just can't take the responsibility of eliminating her. But after 2 seconds of tears, it's over. Some drama erupts between Gia and Farrah immediately. You can see Latrice Royale rolling her eyes. Boo! It's time to start the show. No mini challenge today because the maxi challenge is just that, maxi. Valentina comes in giving you cocktails on the blah 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 Ipanema blah blah blah. What's great about a workroom outfit is that nobody cares, Laganja. Take the houseplant off your head. The girls are gonna get together with legend Stacey Lane Matthews, Annie, to perform 2 tracks that they're gonna make themselves. One track is called Don't Funk It Up, and the other is Everybody Say Love.
Be funnier!
As the top 2 last week, Trinity and Monique will be the team leaders. Monique's team is Everybody Say Love, and Trinity's team is Don't Fuck It Up.
Funk it up.
Funk it up. I fucked it up. I funked it up. The girls are quick to pick teams. Valentina comes over like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. This whole episode is filled with her weird noises. She's like in the confessionals. She's been accused of having borderline personality disorder. Girl, she is over the borderline, as Madonna would say. And by the way, Gia isn't the only activist on this season. Farrah's wearing a shirt that says no fats, no femmes.
Yes, fats.
Yes, fats! Farrah takes a stand against fats and femmes. Sorry, Kimchi. Copyright alert. Monique stole my white girl twerk from season 10. It's time to lay down some fat beats. Farrah Moan confesses that she was a phone sex operator. This is the side of Farrah that I want America to see more of. And Gia calls everyone hags. Doop de doop de doop doop. Get back up. Commercial break. It's time. Well, that nail is gone and I'm fine with it. It's time for the rehearsals! Mess. Little Bo Beep has lost her motherfucking sheep, girl. None of these girls are in control of their groups. Farrah looks like she's trying to sneak off the stage. Monet be like, Look at Lorianne Gibson over there. Monique has a little bit of a vision for what she wants to do. Everyone on the team seems to be like Meryl Streep from that one Nun movie. They have a doubt. Monet is wearing a ring of sponges around her head. Sponge, you glad I didn't say brown cow again? Back in the workroom, it's time for the girls to start to get ready to talk about Farrah. Gia is going around the room taking a poll of pretty much everyone on Farrah's team about whether they think she deserves to be here and how she's doing. But then when that isn't enough, she actually goes over to Farrah and asks her how she's doing and what she thinks about their past drama. Farrah very clearly says, "Can you please let me finish my makeup, the most important part of my personality."
I just realized that now that we could been able to see your nail mess the whole time. It's fine.
Farrah says, "Go away, leave me alone, do my makeup, god damn it!" She's like, "Well, I just wanted to check if you think you should be going home in a few hours, and if our friendship falling apart is your fault."
Now you sound like Alaska.
This is Alaska. Finally, everyone in the room is like, "Leave Farrah alone!" And Farrah fires a shot that will be heard round the world. Some people don't have to force storylines in order to get airtime. Shablam! Save the last dance, because this white girl is about to bring the funk. It's time for the challenge! The girls are gonna hit the main stage. First up, Don't Funk It Up. If we are gonna talk about Monique Hart constantly losing her motherfucking wig, we should say something about Valentina's nipples. It is not just here in this show. If you watch Valentina, her nipples are coming out when it's time to get the party started. When it's time to get the party started. Nips, 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 nips. Reddit, where are the jokes? It's not a joke. It's a fact.
Okay.
Gia looks amazing in her Gem and the Holograms cosplay. When the whole thing is over, Latrice's head is still going, girl. She is ready to win today. Next up, Everybody Say Love. Rue watches on with her frozen smile. Monique really turns me out with a Burlington Coat Factory puffer jacket and a little John Legend smoothness. Tired, fired, expired. Monet Exchange sounds fucking phenomenal in her lyrics as well. Farrah Moan seems to be lagging just a little. As Vanessa Vanjie Mateo told me, that dance move should be called the Grape Stomper. Girl, where's the lie? Naomi. During the first performance, Naomi was a standout and she wasn't even in the show. She looks stunning. During her lyrics are great, she looks phenomenal. Maybe I just like it because her legs are so long. It's time for the runway. The theme today is eloquence after dark. Gown fantasy. Latrice comes out giving you Harlem Nights, my love. Who's in charge of the girls? She's in charge of the girls. Manila is giving one of her best looks of all time. Marie Antoinette, Swan Lake, Crystal, Narnia Winter Goddess.
Vanjie shouted, "Happy Halloween, Monique."
When Monique walked out on the runway, Vanjie in the bus was like, "Happy Halloween!" Farrah's not gonna take any bullshit today, but she is going to take her time on this motherfucking runway. A stroll. Stroll up, they don't love you like I love you.
Everyone
Stroll down.
Okay.
And now it's time for the deliberations. In the bottom today, Farrah and Monique. In the top, Monet and Valentina. Back in the workroom, it's time for the bottom girls to argue for their place on the show. Monique is very humble about it. She's like, hey, if I'm gonna be tall and beautiful and gorgeous and stunning and talented, when do I get time to plead my case? For Farrah, this is her second time in the bottom and she knows she has to focus. But Gia has just one thing to say. She wants to apologize for earlier. It's too late to apologize. It's time for the lip sync! With Valentina taking a chance to get it right with Ariana at last, Valentina gives us sexy because she showed her pussy. Monet gives us comedy, that's my New York gal, and Valentina walks away with the win. Pussy. Valentina makes a bold move. Even though she just patched up her friendship with Farrah, she decides to send Farrah home. You don't love me, says Farrah. She's joking, of course. And then she gives one final goodbye to Gia. No, bitch. You really don't love me. My favorite white woman, present company excluded, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Is gone. It's not gonna be the same without her. I just had to pull her aside and talk to her about it while we were on tour. And corrections! Time for a little talk with Miss Farrah Moan. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling so good. You look so gorgeous, Cracker.
Thank you, I feel like a woman. So you did this performance that was incredible. And right away, even Gia Gunn noticed that you were slaying. So then the slip.
The slip.
Yeah, okay, so we all know what it looked like. But what I want to ask you about is what you said on the mic. Like, you really ate it, and
Yes.
it really hurt.
The fall has been looming over my head for such a long time now. There was such a debate whether it was going to be shown or not. Production was very much like, if you don't want us to show it, we don't have to. But the thing was, I think with me, was that I just knew that it had affected me so deeply emotionally that if
Right.
it just wasn't there, the whole episode would have been very confusing. It's something that happens to every entertainer at some point. I've fallen in other numbers before.
Same.
But I don't think I have ever in my entire career fallen as hard as I fell there. First thing that hit the ground was my hip, and then my elbow, and then my head hit. I just remember as soon as I hit the ground, like, I completely blacked out. Like, my whole body was throbbing. I think I kind of laid there and like struggled to get up for a second. I thought I had broke my hip. After the number, I walked backstage and there was a medic and we're trying to like figure out like, are you okay, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, let's just go out there and do it. Like, it's fine. But I'm crying very hard. I mean, yes, I've cried over some dumb shit, America. But when you envisioned this performance and invested so much time, money, energy, and like labor of love, like it was like your baby. For like a number like that on national television to fall completely, flat on the face has been very, very hard for me to deal with.
Yeah.
And it kind of spiraled me into sort of like a depression after that, really. I still am like triggered when I go on stage every single time because the last thing I ever want to do is like fall again.
Yeah.
I just remember being like, no matter how hard it hurts, just keep going. I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's continue the day.
Tell me about episode 2.
Episode 2, I had a lot to sort of show the other girls. I had to make sure that my performance on this episode was going to be one of the best of my life because I had double to prove than I did when I first walked in the door. I was already in my head enough from the previous episode, and I think it was a little bit unfair that I had to be the one going into this next one that had to deal with all this drama in the workroom when I was just trying to...
additional.
You know what I mean? And it's like no one else really had to deal with that. I just hope that when viewers watch it, they really see how hard it was for me every second that I was there, just to do the same thing everyone else was doing, you know?
So how did you feel after the challenge? Do you feel like the judges treated you fairly, or do you think that the situation was unfair coming out of yesterday? Or
it was hard for me to really know what I was getting into going into the critiques, because in the formation of the dance group, I was in the front, so I couldn't see how everyone else was doing behind me.
Right.
And when I was getting such harsh critiques, I guess because I was standing out in a, I guess, bad way compared to them, it was hard for me to, but you know, Sierra was there and I've looked up to her for so long.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was very sad for me to have to, you know, sashay in front of her, because I just look up to her so much. Coming back from the show, I feel like I have struggled with my mental health a lot. Not necessarily just because of the show itself. I think that I have had so much unresolved trauma in my life that like this kind of was something that I couldn't just push into the back of my mind and forget about. It was like the straw on the camel's back.
Right, I was just about to say that famous camel shoot.
Yeah, the straw on the camel's back, baby. And I'm not getting on that camel.
I think on this tour, getting to see who you are. Now when I hear Michelle saying, oh, she's just a pretty girl, it blows my mind, because you are so much more than just a pretty girl. You're a really interesting person who also happens to be incredibly gorgeous. Whatever happens with you, I know that if you like just show the world the person that I get to see every day, you are really gonna outstrip these girls in a completely different way. I really, honestly, I think your life story needs to be out there, because it's so fucking fascinating.
Well, thank you, Cracker. And you know, I've thought about that a lot. I feel like when you see people on a show like RuPaul's Drag Race, it's sometimes hard for you to really see who they are as a person, because you're kind of filtering yourself because you're so in the zone about like what to do next, what's the next challenge, and you're just trying to focus on being good at what you're doing, that you're not able to fully express yourself. And so you only see a fraction of a person on a show like Drag Race. So that means a lot that you said that.
It's real, girl. If I didn't have anything nice to say about you, I would not be sitting here and talking to you right now. That's for motherfucking sure.
Oh, and I love you so much. You're such a gorgeous woman.
All right, everybody. This has been Review with a Jew, highlighter edition. That's it for this week, everybody. For more inside information, remember to stay tuned and watch next week's Review with a Jew. Okay, now my rolls are at the top and the edge is here. Can you see my legs?
Yes. So.
Do I look nice?
Yeah.
Then we're fine.